games that I'm interested in. Let's hit them. Underneath the radar screen, because they're the Jacksonville Jaguars. Period, end of story. The Jaguars have a shot to continue with their current feeling and mantra, and they got the warm and fuzzies because they just beat the crap out of the Tennessee Titans, and they still have a chance to win this division if they could only keep winning games and keep stacking W's. And who's right there? The Dallas Cowboys. Coming off of a game against the worst team in the NFL, with the worst record in the NFL, last place in this division in the AFC South. Let's just see if the Houston Texans showed a little bit of a blueprint. One thing, though, that the Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to do is swap quarterbacks out during the game. And that's where I want to linger a little bit here. Mike, if you don't mind, turn down the music, because we were on the air with Doug Peterson earlier this week when I asked him about Trevor Lawrence and his development. And is there an it moment for him on when things might have started to turn? And this was his answer.
I think, and I believe that interception he threw on the goal line at Denver when we played in London,
yes,
several weeks ago, I think was, a little bit of a wake-up call or a bell that rung in his head that says, listen, I've got to do a better job of protecting the football. You're hurting the football team and putting the team in harm's way like that. I just think that was a play that, one, he would like to have back, but I really think it put him on a trajectory or a path that he's on right now. And sometimes it takes a play like that or a moment like that for, young players to understand just how to play this game. And since that point, he's really done an outstanding job of just, taking care of the ball, executing the offense, and really dispersing the football where it needs to be.
Now, it's Tuesday's show, and on his Wednesday press conference, Trevor Lawrence was asked if he concurred with that moment being significant.
Yeah, I think there's been a few of those moments really in my career so far, but I think at that point, I'll never forget how I felt in that locker room after the game. Obviously it wasn't a good day for me, and I really just felt like it felt like that a couple times, but none more than after that game. Really felt like I let the team down. Should have won that game. I think we had lost 4. That was our 5th one in a row. So I never forgot how I felt in that locker room. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm gonna 1, start taking care of the ball, but 2, I just want to be the player that I know I can be. And I think that kind of flipped a switch in me. And honestly too, I think I have a little bit more of a chip on my shoulder now. Just because, last year and a half, I don't really forget what's been said and what people have written, and now, you see people change their mind after a couple weeks, and but I remember everything, and I don't use that necessarily as my only fuel, but definitely use that, and I think that's something this team's done. We kind of remember what people were saying when we lost 5 in a row, and then we've won some big games now, and people kind of change their mind quick. So we just have that same mentality. That we want to prove, how good we can be every week, and I think that's been the cool thing about this team.
Great answer. Now, I know what you guys here are wondering, at least I was, were we specifically cited in the press conference?
Oh.
Say, hey, Doug Peterson on the Rich Eisen Show,
right.
And so is that what brought up this specific comment?
Correct attribution.
Right?
Come on.
Well, here's the question.
Doug said in an interview this week he thinks the London game, particularly that red zone turnover, is kind of a wake-up call for you, kind of your turning point. Is that kind of how you see it?
In an interview this week. Come on, dude who covers the Jaguars. What are we doing? Jeez.
We're offering content. Was that question dictated to him by Colin Cowherd? Because if it was, it would have been radio television show.
On a radio television show.
Come
on a
on.
nice
It's
little
called
radio.
the Rich Eisen Show. We could give you a card.
We could send you a mug.
Enough about us. Trevor Lawrence showing up against the Dallas Cowboys with an opportunity to start making some hay, and you're hearing he's been taking names. He's got a receipt as well. I kind of dig it. And I kind of dig this game. And it's early window. And it's going to be exciting. I'm loving this. Because, kids, I remember way back in the day when the Jaguars were playing significant games in December. I know they had that one run, the Bortles run, that damn near wound up in the Super Bowl, right?
So close.
The Bortles-Marone top of the ticket. But this is great stuff, man. Dallas versus Doug Peterson. Let's go. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.